So I know it's not easy for everyone to be here, so us being here at all is powerful. My name is Andy Phillips, and I'm a working mom in the Ozarks. I'm proud of the fact that I've been working in the food service industry since I was 15 years old. Prop A is so important to me because I am someone who lives paycheck to paycheck, even though I work extremely hard. I have 4 kids, all of which I've supported by working in this industry. My oldest is now 21 and my youngest is now 7. And like many of you, I've got plenty of phone calls over the years from the school saying my child is sick and needs to go home. Of course, as a parent, I want to be the one that takes care of my kids when they're sick. These days when my younger kids get sick and I have to skip a shift, I find myself playing that complicated math game just to get by. If I miss this shift, can I buy gas? Can we get that gallon of milk? Will we be able to do laundry? Any parent knows that when your child is sick, you just want to concentrate on getting them better. You don't want to be distracted by worrying if you can pay the electricity bill. When we passed Prop A back in November, I felt hope. I imagined a near future where I could work hard and make a living and be present for my family and my kids when they need me. But now, because of politicians' decision to undo the will of the people, the votes that we gathered, I will no longer have the ability to earn paid sick time and relief of knowing that I have the choice between a paycheck and my family's health.
It ain't right.
Politicians should be ashamed.
Yes.
They are undoing the will of the people and taking paid sick time away of thousands of families like mine. Missouri Jobs with Justice, we personally came Monday and we talked to some of our senators. We personally looked Mike Moon, my personal senator, in the eye and asked him, please do not repeal this. This is not just paperwork. This is not just legislature. These are women, children, families. This is our community. Please support your voters. And he would not. So let's remember that when votes come back around, guys.
Thank you so much, Andy. That was a powerful, powerful reminder of the power we have and what we must do next. I'd next like to bring up a storyteller from Abortion Action Missouri and also a champion leader in my same district, SU15, Nancy O'Brien. Nancy, do you want me to hold it? Oh, I got it.
Hello everyone, my name is Nancy O'Brien. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a leader with the West County Strategy Team for Abortion Action Missouri. Yesterday, politicians in our state voted to put another abortion ban on the ballot. These anti-abortion, anti-democracy politicians claim they want our state to have a culture of life, but I am an example of how an abortion also saves lives. When I was young, I was groomed by an older man. He was 20, I was 15. Within a few weeks of our sexual relationship, he began to complain about using condoms, saying they were uncomfortable, too small, didn't feel good. So at 15, I became responsible for my birth control. I had to get on the bus every month to travel to Planned Parenthood to get my pills. I was not in a good relationship. He was already manipulative, emotionally abusive, and he eventually graduated to physical abuse. One month, I did not get on the bus in time to pick up my pills, and I missed a few days. And those few missed days were all it took to become pregnant now at the age of 16. Fortunately, abortion was legally available in Missouri, and my boyfriend was only too happy to pay for it. He was a predator after all, and I was a minor. I took the bus alone to the clinic, had the procedure, and took the bus back home. As the physical abuse in my relationship worsened, my friends and family finally helped me to escape at age 18. And this man finally wound up in prison after stabbing his grandmother.
Oh, wow.
It is impossible to know what would have happened to me had I stayed in that relationship. But we know that around 30% of deaths during pregnancy are caused by intimate partner violence. I am fully convinced that having that abortion saved my life. I was able to go to college, to graduate, and begin a 40-year career in education and healthcare. When I was 30, I met the man who became my husband, and when I turned 34, when we were both emotionally and financially ready, my husband and I started our family.
Yes.
I am now 66 years old, and in the 50 years since my abortion, I have had no emotional distress, no suicidal ideations, no diagnosis of breast cancer, no reproductive complications, and absolutely no regrets. My abortion saved me from being tied to a violent man. My abortion allowed me to get an education and embark on a career that focused on helping others. My abortion allowed me to choose when and with whom I would start a family. Women are not property. Every Missourian deserves to have agency and control over their own bodies.
Yes.
Abortion, no matter what the circumstances, is health care. No politician has the right to dictate what goes on in the doctor's office or in our private lives.
No.
Especially not my Senator, David Gregory. He voted yesterday to take away my rights. And I am ready to vote to take away his seat.
Marianne hit it on the head when she said Nancy was a storyteller. She nailed it. But that's a story we should not have to hear.
No.
That's also a story that's not an anomaly. That story is replicated across our state. And we all know someone who has a story to tell. And they should tell that story, because that ugly truth is the only way we make lawmakers see us, hear us, and feel us.
Yes.
I want to invite up next, y'all, Fran Marion. She's a Wendy's worker and a long-time fighter with the Missouri Worker Center and Stand Up KC. Let's give Fran some love.
That's right.
I mean, the spirits is working and they listen. But as I said, I'm Fran Marion, a Wendy's worker, and a proud mother of two. And I've worked in fast food, y'all, for over 20 years. I'm also lead with the Stand Up KC, the Missouri Workers Center. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I'm gonna take, can this come on? I'm gonna ask y'all a question. I wanna know, I wanna see the hands. How many of y'all went to work sick? Had no choice but to go between your check, being sick, or paycheck? Okay, I have another question. How many of y'all living paycheck to paycheck? I'll let the ladies are watching and pay attention to what they're doing. But I'm here to tell you, y'all are not alone. And sometimes it's impossible to make it work, because we all get sick, and we all deserve the freedom to recover from illness and the comfort of our own home. But as those of us who live in poverty know, being forced into that decision comes with dire consequence. Just this year alone, you guys, I've lost $1,880 in pay for taking the time I needed to heal from recent strokes I've had, and before that, from a double eye infection. When you're making starvation wages to begin with, it doesn't take much to push you over the edge.
Right.
Things got really bad a couple of years ago. You guys, I woke up one day with a bad bug.
I didn't have health insurance at the time, so I couldn't see a doctor. I tested negative for COVID, and in my high fever, nausea and vomiting, and body aches told me it was the flu. I couldn't make my shift at Taco Bell for my own sake, and for the sake of protecting my coworkers and my customers, so I just stayed in bed. Over the next few days, my stress mounted at the thought of the pain I couldn't earn from being sick before I caught the flu. Before I caught the flu, I was already falling behind on my rent payments because management had cut off my hours. Taking time for me to recover turned out to be the straw that broke my back. There was no way I could make rent after missing out on $450, over half of what I owed. If I had been living alone at the time, it would have been bad enough. But I had my son Rashad also with me. So when I came home from work to eviction notice, which by the way, had my birthday of all the days listed as my court date, it meant my son and I both lost our homes. As a parent, few things are more heartbreaking than not being able to take care of your children and the way that you want to or need to. The whole time I thought about how if I had the chance to take a few days off to fully heal while still getting a paycheck, I could have kept me and my son housed. I couldn't help that I got sick, but the greedy corporation I worked for had made a choice to abandon me as soon as I stopped making them rich.
That ain't
Yeah, that ain't right.
It ain't right.
It's moments like these over the course of decades that made me realize nothing will change until I join other fast food workers in a fight for freedom to thrive, not just barely survive.
That's right.
It's why I joined other low-wage workers in stand up take seat in the Missouri Workers Center across the state to fight for and win Prop A in November. Prop A wouldn't have been possible without over a decade of low-wage workers organizing right here in Kansas City and across the country for $15 and a union. Some of you here have been with me in this fight for years, on the strike line, in the streets, and here at the State House. Organizing gets the goods. But just because we won big in November doesn't mean we haven't had to fend off attacks on our rights every step of the way. That's why we're here now. The Missouri legislature had just destroyed what I spent decades of my life fighting for. With 1.6 million people voted into law in November, and what already went into effect at the beginning of the month. Attacking the will of the people in this way is a betrayal.
Yeah,
It is
absolutely.
extremism at its finest. It is a direct attack, a theft even, of low-wage workers' wages and benefits, and their voices.
Right.
Make no mistake, what lawmakers just did is steal food from our pantries, from our families. They have taken health care away from those of us who need it the most. They have denied us the chance to care for an aging parent. They have forced workers like me to work while we're sick, cattle prodding us into dangerous situations that risk our personal and public health. They may as well put their hand in my pocket and pull out my wallet out because in effect, that's what they've done to hundreds of thousands of us.
Shame!
I know we're disappointed, frustrated, and tired, but the truth is, we haven't always won. How many of us have suffered a setback in this movement? I know I have.
Yes.
But other people not fighting. How many have occupied the steps of KC City Hall with me back in 2017?
Yep.
Our president made it impossible for our elected officials to look away. And we passed 15 an hour only to see racist corporate-backed lawmakers in Jefferson City steal away our hard-fought victory.
That ain't right.
But y'all, did that stop us? No! I said, did that stop us? No, it didn't. It only fueled our fire. We've taken L's before, and whether it's workers' rights, the right to vote, the right to autonomy over our bodies, the right to marry whoever we want, nothing was won overnight. So when we face a setback, it doesn't mean we give up.
That's right.
Because as our motto goes, let the welfare of the people be the supreme law.
That's right.
And it's up to each of us to make Missouri stand on that. So let yourself be angry. Let that anger fuel our fight. We can meet it with more determination than ever before. Because I know I am. Because we're not stopping until we win the living wages and pay sick days that every worker in this state deserves. Our strength is in our numbers, and together across all walks of life, we will tune out the division they deliberately sow and make Missouri a place that puts our people over their profits and our communities over their corporations. When workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up like that. I said when workers' rights are under attack, what do we do? Stand up like that.
I'm going to need another round of applause for Fran.